All right. Hopefully it works this time, man. I don't know what the fuck is with the echo, man. Shelly, do you know, like, so far I hear nothing, but how would I turn off the microphone on my phone? I don't actually know. I hate this echo shit. I sound all right? Yeah, hopefully when he comes in, I won't have those problems. That's what the problem is. What's up, Angie? It's not echoing now. I just want to make sure for when we talk, because that's what happened last time we talked. I made a lot of great points, but you can't hear it. It's when your guest arrived, it changed over. Yeah, that's what I mean. Do you know what I do about that? Yeah, well, he's not in here. He's coming out. Hopefully it won't be echoing. What's up, Angie? How you doing?
You said, you liar.
What?
You said I made, but you couldn't hear it. You were making
I
great
totally
points.
was. Are you kidding me? All right. Well, actually, I can hear you now, which is great. So you got your wine, and I got my seat.
I got my
Yeah.
look at my headphones. I look like I'm
You
fucking
look
about to
great.
fly a
We're
jet.
almost
This is
dressed the same.
retarded.
You're just a shade lighter than me, which is probably why you believe in government. Because of the whole white thing. Anyway, so I noticed on.
I'm redder than you. I'm
Oh,
not a
I
shade
meant
lighter.
I meant
You
your
made
shirt.
that punchline. You made that joke
No,
up
I meant your
before we
shirt.
got here.
I
You
meant
didn't
your
know I was
shirt.
red.
No, what I meant. Well, the red people is what our government's destroyed. But anyway, you make a lot of points. I noticed a lot of times you compare me to Indiana Jones, since I believe in symbolism. Do you feel I'm a lot like Indiana Jones?
No, I said that like you're not Indiana Jones. I said like you people
Yeah.
think you're
Well,
Indiana Jones,
he
but
was a
you're not.
college professor, right?
So what? He was an
Right.
archaeologist. Yes, I
He was
know.
a smart
But I'm
motherfucker.
saying like your idea of Indiana Jones is like this guy who goes out and fights
Yeah.
Nazis and wins the battle. Like, and you're
Sure.
investigating these things underground. You find the secret
That's
tomb
what
of
I'm
the
looking for.
sorcerers. Like you people believe
The
that dumb
Philosopher's
shit.
Stone.
And I didn't mean like you're actually Harrison
Yeah.
Ford in the movie. Like I don't mean you're the actual
Yeah.
character. I mean that
Well,
like
I'm more of a
fantasy.
Han
It's all
Solo guy
fantasy.
myself, but regardless, so like you don't believe in symbolism? Yeah,
Yeah, I
you
like
don't
Han
believe in
Solo. He's cool.
symbolism at all? Like you think it's just all made up?
I mean, it depends on what we're talking about. I believe that there are symbols that mean things. I don't think that like they're using symbolism to trick us into,
Well, okay. So actually, let me give you a perfect
thinking.
example of actually how they're doing that. Right? You notice the gas stations all around us, right? They all have solar symbolism, right? The reason they have solar symbolism is because your subconscious mind, right? Every creature living understands subconsciously it needs the sun, right? So anyway, these billionaire motherfuckers that have all this time and money to sit around and figure out how our psychology works, they know this about us. Now you look at your gas stations, right? Mobile, right? The O is red. Just a conspiracy. Then you have Shell with yellow beams of light. You have Sun Oco, Sun Oil Company. BP, what do they use? A
I
sunflower,
don't.
76, big red ball behind it.
All right, so you found a pattern.
Kokono
What does
uses,
it
well,
all
that's what I'm
mean?
trying to explain. Kokono uses light rays. These people understand how symbology affects your subconscious mind, and they use it to manipulate you. For like, why do you think when you go to a gas station, it's called a sun mark?
Wait, so what's the sun all about? Why are they showing us the sun? What
Well,
does that
no,
teach? What is
well,
that
I just
controlling us to
explained.
do?
Okay, every living creature subconsciously knows that it needs the sun to survive. You don't think about it, you know what I mean? But if the sun went out tomorrow, me and you'd be, hey, Christian, we got to do something about this, brother. We got to figure this out quick, you know?
So what you're saying is that they put suns on the gas stations so that we turn to them and say that we need them to survive, and that's a way that billionaires are
Yes.
controlling us by putting suns on their
Yes,
gas
that
station.
is
That's
what
their
I'm saying.
plan.
Correct. And well, why is that so crazy? Think about it. What is the sun? Sun is energy.
Because nobody's sitting in their marketing meeting and they're like, all right, how
How do
can
you
we
know
get
that?
people to be under
How do
our
you know that?
control? All right, let's put suns on our gas stations. They know that suns are needed to live, and then they will think that they need billionaires to live. You think that somebody pitched
Totally.
that
I don't know
idea
if they like
to.
pitched it in that way. Like for example, what you know,
You're
I
right. You're
know.
right, Justin. It's
No,
sun
it is just
worship.
like all the religions. Why do you think Jesus
Come
Christ
on,
is the
dude.
sun? You
Yes.
know, when the sun.
No, I've heard that. Everybody knows that, and they use that because obviously religion started with
Right.
astrology because of what was important to them. But what we're talking about is like oil companies. They basically are using the most profitable thing in mankind's history, oil, and they're siphoning it off and controlling the production, the profit of it, and they're making all this money off of it, and they're invading countries for it to make money, to make profit. They're not like, let's put suns on our gas stations so that everybody follows us. They're controlling the market. They're controlling the money that controls the market.
Like, that's what I'm trying to explain so you understand. What it does is it subconsciously, subtly influences people to go buy from them instead of like a random place. And think about it. Why at the gas station when you pull up? Wait, hold on.
So you're talking about simple marketing.
Why at a gas station, the store is often called a Sun Mart. I mean, what are they selling there? Sunflower seeds. Why would they call it a Sun Mart? Why?
Bro, do you know anything about marketing? Like, seriously, there's nobody who is like maybe like 100 years ago, they were like, oh, if we put a sun up here, people will gravitate towards it because the sun is so important in our society. But it's not like you have corporations, oil companies today that are sitting here like, let's put a sun on our gas station so that we can control everybody.
They already did it 100 years ago. Why do you think?
Yeah, but you understand how the market is a little different now. How it works today is like totally not the same thing as it was 100 years ago.
That's the thing. They understand.
Simple psychology.
Well, you didn't know that,
simple psychology.
Most people don't know
You're saying that they're doing this, that they're not doing this to get them just to go buy gas. They're doing this so that we are controlled by billionaires directly. Like, we're looking at billionaires because of the suns on their gas station.
It's not like you see the sun and you're like, I must go there. It subtly influences you.
No. I even get on the subconscious level. I understand what you're saying. Like, it's going to attract you. But what I'm saying is the reason. Like, you think that even if that was the idea, like, they're like, oh, let's put a sun so it attracts the eye towards it and then it pulls them in. You think it has anything more to do with them just driving in and getting gas and giving them profit? You think it's more than that?
More than that. What is that? I don't really understand what you're asking me.
It's more than just making money so that their profit margin rises, so that their shareholders are happy. You think it's like something direct, like because we need to follow the sun, and now they control the sun, and so that means that.
Just to be clear, what I'm suggesting to you right now is that these people, these ruling elite people, understand how our psychology works better than the general public, and because they understand this, they use symbolism in the world all around that they don't teach you or I to subtly influence us.
You're talking about simple marketing, though. What's the reason? Tell me the reason why they're doing it.
Us to do it. Like, for example, you know FedEx?
In what way?
What
are they influencing us to do? Not to buy it, to something else,
you to get there. That's what I'm saying. Like FedEx, right? You know.
But to do what?
To buy from them.
Yeah, to make money. So it's just really about making money.
In that situation, yes. But that's what I mean. Like, they don't teach the public.
Okay, what situation is it not like that?
I'm not really sure what you're at. I'm just trying to explain that. Like you said some.
I'm trying to say that symbology and psychology is used in simple marketing. It's as simple as kind of marketing. Any product that you're trying to sell, you're trying to psychologically market to people. That's how it goes. What you're doing is making it a little bit different. You're making it like they put a sun on a gas station so that the billionaires can control us because we're now going to follow billionaires. They're not just trying to make money.
You're just playing up what I'm saying. Like I'm explaining like they don't teach the general public this and how it affects your subconscious mind. So
they don't teach the general public psychological
like that. Like, for example, in FedEx, right? Do you know where the psychological ploy in that is in the FedEx logo?
No. What are they doing that's trying to make us give them business?
In the FedEx logo, if you look between the E and the X, in the negative space, there's an arrow because subconsciously that arrow makes. Oh, hold on. The arrow makes you like it looks like they're on the go. They're going the right way. It hits your subconscious. Same thing. IHOP recently, what they did is they made a smiley face.
So then we buy pancakes. So then we use them to send our mail. What is your point? I understand how marketing works. I think most people kind of get that.
Or virtually meaningless.
Compared to the way that you're using it, you're making it like there's triangles all over the world because there's
I just gave you multiple flawless examples of how exactly they're doing it.
Tried to correlate two separate issues. One is psychological marketing to buy a product. The other is symbols in the world that are trying to convince us to follow the elite.
It's the same thing.
Right?
It's not two different things. It's the same thing. You're just trying to downplay what I'm saying. I can't.
I want to sell this right here, so I come up with a clever thing to make people laugh, and they're likely to buy it. That's not the same thing as saying that people are putting triangles on their money because they're trying to control.
Why do you think on the back of the dollar there's a giant pyramid? What does pyramids have to do with American money?
I don't know. You tell me.
Are you going to try to downplay the significance, or would you listen?
No, you tell me what the reason
Okay,
is.
because the people who are supposedly in control of this country aren't really in control of this country. That's why there's a giant pyramid with a floating eye above it on the back, and it says Novus Ordo Seclorum, which means New World Order, and then it says Annuit Queptis above that, which basically essentially translates to something about like the gods or of whatever, blessing us on our
Okay, so
mission.
what does the triangle do on the what is this what does it do to me? Like
What's
right
it
here.
called? What's that? It influences your subconscious.
What's it doing? What's it doing right now?
Mind. Why do you think every business has a logo?
To what? Like, I want money with or without the triangle. I want what this represents. I want this because it pays for my shelter and my food. It pays for my family to have shelter and food. It pays for me to be on this phone. That's what it is. I don't give a fuck if there's a triangle on it. That's not what gives it my allegiance.
So how would you know if it always had the triangle? How would you know if you don't felt that way?
Because you could give me a thing of gold and I would feel the same way about it. It's whatever I think has value, has value. Whatever I can buy food, shelter, transportation with has value. It doesn't need a triangle on it. What you're trying to say is that the triangle's on it because it's like hypnotizing us.
That is what I'm saying.
No, the idea of money itself is hypnotizing us. This hypnotizes us. Not what it looks like. It doesn't matter what it looks like. A piece of gold, a diamond.
So then why go to all the trouble to put all the symbols on it? Why go to all the trouble to put the symbols on it then? I mean, there's symbols all over that motherfucker. Why? It costs more money. Why do it?
You tell me why. Specifically, what is the reason? But you said because there's a new world order. So what does a triangle do? What does a triangle do that brings me to the new world order? Specifically, this triangle. What does it do that pushes me in a direction? It's just a symbol that's been with humanity since the dawn of time. It's a base symbol. It's an archetype. Just the way it stops. A triangle.
Square.
So I guess all triangles, all triangles are manipulating us to follow the new world order.
Not like every triangle. Oh, you're just downplaying what I'm saying. Anyway, so what? Okay, so
what's more important, the triangle on the back of this, or what I could buy with this? What's more important, the food and shelter I could buy with this, or the triangle?
I don't really understand the question.
What makes this more important to me?
I'm just trying
follow?
You said at the beginning of this conversation.
Or what I could buy with this.
You said at the beginning of this conversation that symbols don't mean anything. So what I'm trying to convey to you is that symbols do have an effect on your subconscious mind. Rather than just downplay what I'm saying, why don't you marketing? Hey, you know, that guy just gave me like 11 examples. Maybe he's got a point. And learn something.
Wait, 11 examples? No. Because I know you're trying to connect psychological marketing of a product with this idea that they're using triangles to hypnotize you to follow.
What I'm saying. Yes.
It's two different things. So I know that you think it's a thing. Weirdos that follow you and comment in here think it's a thing, that we're using triangles. No, but tell me, it's amazing. It's amazing to me that you think that me buying food, shelter, all the basic necessities of humanity with this is not as important as the triangle that's on it.
Survival is less important. I'm just trying to explain to you so you understand why they put the symbols there. You're just downplaying whatever I say to you.
No, but why? But what I'm saying is that why is it that like you think that this is more important than what this buys?
I didn't say it was more important. I'm just explaining to you.
You have to. You think that what you think is that the elites are taking over the world and they're doing it with these triangles and the sun on the gas station.
I do think that, and that's what I'm trying to convey to you. I'm trying to get you to understand how the occult uses symbology all over in your everyday life to subtly influence and manipulate you, and you're just trying to write it off.
And that's the point. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that what is way more important than these cults that are secretly putting Let me say something, because it has to be more important, because you have to be worried about what's actually causing the problem. So what you're saying is that the thing that influences the most problems in this world is not what this buys and what this is worth. You're saying it's the symbology that is hypnotizing
I'm saying that because
the
people are uneducated, unenlightened in the symbolic language that surrounds us daily, this is why we're in such shambles. I'm not trying to downplay the importance of you and your livelihood. I'm just saying because people don't understand these things.
Not me and my livelihood. You love this too. I could put this. I could pay somebody with enough of these. I could pay somebody with enough of these to kill somebody. I can't put enough triangles in front of somebody's face to make them kill somebody. I could give somebody enough of these and they will murder another human being. So that means what this buys is way more important than the sun on the gas station.
You're totally changing what I'm trying to explain to you. Like, I'm not saying that.
You're trying to tell me that people use symbols to psychologically market us? Let me tell you something. Yes, that was marketing like 30 years ago. Marketing's way further than that now. How come we watch a Geico commercial and instead of actually doing anything that has anything to do with the product, they do a joke, a clever joke?
That's what
because
I do.
it hits certain parts of your brain and you go towards that. It's not about the triangle. It's about they learn how to reach your brain. Why? So that you can take your money and give it to them. They just want your money. They want your money because that's
right about the first part of that, but the second part you're wrong about. They don't want your money. They want control of your livelihood. They make all the money. If you had the mint, why would you care about money? You can print as much as you want, and they do. What they do is they print so much money so it devalues the money.
And it wouldn't be worth anything. It wouldn't be worth any. Listen. Let me explain this. Look, religion doesn't have any power unless people believe in it. Right?
Religion has all the power. All the power.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You had a fucking heart attack in the middle of the sentence. What I said was religion doesn't have any power. Religion doesn't have any power unless people believe in it. No, not true. Right? That's how they have power. You have to believe it.
Hold on.
It's not true.
Great point to make. If somebody just could, hold on.
Religion has power even if people don't believe in it.
There you go. For example, if you're sitting one day, right, at like a diner, and all of a sudden you don't believe in Islam, do you? No, right?
Oh. No, I don't believe in any
monotheist. Let's say a bunch of Muslim fundamentalists come along and just shoot the fuck out of you. You didn't believe in their shit, but they still killed you. So does it not matter what other people believe?
Wow, you totally
How did I miss the point? I answered your question perfectly.
You think that? So the people who killed me because of their belief in religion.
That's why it's important.
That belief in religion made them kill me. That belief in their religion gave a consequence that left me dead. It doesn't matter if I believe in that religion.
They'll still kill you.
It doesn't matter if I believe why a serial killer would kidnap me and cut my head off. It doesn't mean that thing has power. Religion only has power because people believe in it. Islam only has power because people believe in it. If nobody believed in it, nobody would kill anybody over it.
I agree with you.
Okay? The only thing that gives religion value is who believes in it. The same thing can be said about representatives and presidents and political parties. The only thing that gives them value is how many people believe in it. That's it. Once they have their followers, then they're worth something. You just changed what
I said. It's not just because you don't believe something doesn't. No, hold on.
You said that it doesn't matter. I'm not saying it doesn't matter.
What you said was that because you don't you don't believe something, it doesn't affect you. That's not true because other people that believe things you did.
I never said that. I said the only thing that gives religion religion power is how many people believe in it.
Okay, well, anyway.
That's all I'm trying to convince you to stop believing. It doesn't have real world consequences. I'm trying to convince you to
stop believing in the religion known as government. That's the worst religion of all of them.
And the religion known as government. Okay, so there's no government. There's no government. How do you deal with a dispute in your neighborhood? If my neighbor has more guns and men than I do, how do you deal with the fact that he stole something from you?
Well, I mean, the situation, it depends on a lot of factors in the situation.
No, it doesn't. One thing. You know that your neighbor stole something from you, but he's got 30 people in his house all armed to the teeth, and you've got 2.
What did he steal?
What do you do?
It doesn't
matter. He stole your fucking bed, and now you don't have a bed. What are you going to do?
I'll probably just go get a new bed and talk to him about, like, hey, man, on a cold night, you think we could split that or something? I don't know. That's a bad situation.
Yeah, and he tell you to fuck off. So what you're saying is it's okay in your society without government to steal from each other as long as you have more men and guns.
Well, how's that? Hold on.
Because you are wait. I gotta say, because when did you say that? You are promoting a specific kind of government.
What's that?
You are promoting no government.
No government.
So what I'm saying is, what would you do without any government in a society where your neighbor robs from you, but they have more men and guns than you? What would you do? You wouldn't be able to do shit. You have to go out and buy a new bed.
What's different between that situation and the government situation we have now? How's it any different?
I can call the police. And they can come and investigate if they stole my bed.
I can call my friend.
I can show them a video. I can show them a video of this guy stealing my bed. And it doesn't matter if he has 100 guys in there armed to the teeth. They'll fucking go there and get my bed. If they fight, then they'll all die. But that's the fact. It doesn't matter if there's more men and guns next door. Because I have proof and I can take it to court and there is due process.
Okay, stop. You're not let me talk. What I'm saying is, just because we don't have a government doesn't mean we can't have things that work like courts. See, what you don't understand is that hold on.
Okay, no, but don't get vague. Don't get vague. Tell me how they would work. Don't skip that. Don't skip that. You just said that we can still have courts.
Like you said, over talking somebody doesn't mean you
don't skip that. How would we have courts?
Okay, let me finish. So
How would we have court? Because you can't skip that. I just said, what would you do? I just said, what would you do in that society? And you're like, oh, no. Now you're saying there's going to be courts. That's my point.
To explain, Tell me how you just keep over talking me. That doesn't mean you're winning the debate. What I'm trying to explain is, what I'm trying to explain is that just because we don't have government, it doesn't mean we can't have things that behave like the systems we have now. Like when I say anarchy, I'm not. Oh, hold on.
Tell me how.
I'm not saying, let's say in the town we live in, we can't have people that we have patrol the streets and stuff like that in case something bad happens. The difference is, let me finish.
Who would they be? No, you have to get specific. This is the point. There are courts, there are people patrolling the streets, so there is government.
What I'm saying is,
okay,
the difference between what I'm suggesting and what the government is and what we have now is that those people known as police have rights that we don't have. If we hold everyone to the same standard, that would be anarchy. That's it. What do you mean, come on?
Dude, no. You can't, no, because you can't sit there and say that, no, this is how my society works, but this society is so fucked up. No, I want you to tell me how your society is going to work. Who's patrolling the streets? Who's judging the courts? I just saw a stupid-ass comment that said that they would be privately owned. Great. So then everybody who works for that company, doesn't have to worry about being prosecuted. Well, brilliant. Privately owned. Thank you, commenter. Now you tell me right now how we're going. No.
Okay.
I want you to tell me who the judges will be, who the juries will be, and who will decide that. I also want to know who is patrolling the streets and who will decide that too.
The judges in the Valley Stream Court right now. I don't know specifically what their name is.
They're people who got elected. I don't care if you don't know their name. They got elected. I want you to tell me in your society, in your anarchist society with no government, who is patrolling the streets, who is judging, and who is the jury?
We can actually have the same people that are doing it now, except they wouldn't have rights that we don't have. That's it.
They just magically will appear that way?
What I'm saying is that.
So we'll have elections.
But the elections
will
are fine as long as the people being elected don't have rights that you don't have.
So who's running the elections? Who's running the elections?
Whoever they want to. I'm just saying, what you're not understanding is that the difference between what anarchy is and what government is that the government today people have rights that we don't have. That's what the problem is.
I'm not asking about government today. I'm asking about your government. I want to know about your government. You just said that, elections are fine, but we don't have a government. So who's deciding the elections? Who's counting the votes?
What do you think the government is?
Who's picking the candidates?
The government is the people? Isn't that your excuse?
No, but they're not what you're saying. You're saying no government.
Yeah, correct.
So we have a government. And what I believe, here's what I believe. I believe that you don't know shit about what government is. I don't think that you know what government is. That's the point I'm making. I don't think you have any idea what it is. You don't understand how it processes. You don't understand what due process is. I think that you just...
You're not listening to what I'm saying.
You don't know what government is. I'm asking you to say in your society who will elect these judges, who will decide who's patrolling our streets at night. I want you to tell me, and you're saying it's giving elections, but how do you have an election without any government?
You don't think, okay, if me, you, and like Anthony Capone, your boy, voted on something, the three of us, right? Okay, our boy voted on something, right? Voted on something. We don't have to be a government to do that. We can just vote. So what's wrong with that?
No, us three get together, okay, but we're talking about like a city with 5 million people, okay? We're not talking about three people getting together and deciding who's going to patrol my driveway. You know what I mean? We're talking about a city. We're talking about garbage disposal, transportation routes. We're looking at trends, marketing. We're looking at how money receives its value and law enforcement. We're talking about law itself and the creation of rights.
You're just using a bunch of talking points that sound good. Like, what does all that mean?
We can have elections with no government. We can have people controlling the street.
I just explained how we can have elections with no government. You don't need a government to have elections. People have elections.
Tell me how 5 million people will get together and do an election, and who will pick the candidates? Will we vote on the candidates beforehand, and who will count the votes? There will be no government in place.
Yes, no government.
You can't even go to the police if you get your shit robbed, but somehow we're going to have an election.
You know what the rate of police getting your stuff back stolen is? It's like absolutely like minuscule. It's like 7% or something like that anyway. So that's a terrible example.
Anyway, how will you do it better? Besides, get rid of the government. Tell me specifically how your non-government society works.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead, but stick to the point, please.
You just keep changing the subject. Okay, so in our society, what I'm suggesting is that we could have things like way systems work now. The difference is that the people would not have rights. That's the difference between what I'm suggesting and government. We could still vote on things. There's nothing wrong with voting on things. I vote on things every time I go to the store.
And who will decide what we vote on? Who will decide what we vote on?
The same people.
So we will vote on what to vote on?
What?
We will vote on what to vote on. All 10,000 of us in my city are going to vote on what to vote on every fucking day, basically.
Why is it any different?
How does it work now? Is that okay? Wait, time out, because this is what I said. You don't know what government is. How it works now is that we've elected representatives, and then they go. Okay. Time out. We've elected representatives, and then they've gone, and now they're handling things that we don't really know about on a daily basis. Why? Because I can't work and take care of my house and take care of my kids and vote every single day on what's happening. So I elect people to do that.
Why you have to work so hard is because the government has basically enslaved you. If we didn't have all these bills to pay and the prices weren't so high, you wouldn't have to work so hard. So then you'd have more time to think. Hold on, you'd have
no, I have to work so hard because corporations are allowed to pay me less.
Think about those things.
I have to work so hard.
You have more time to think about those things.
That's such bullshit. You're like, you have to work so hard because government exists. That's it. No, I have to work so hard because my money is worth nothing anymore. Why is my money worth nothing anymore? Because the workers have no rights. The workers have no collective bargaining rights anymore. Unions are being dismantled. It's called deregulation, not regulation. Regulation is collective bargaining rights. Deregulation is getting rid of collective bargaining rights.
Saying anything of validity.
Do you know what collective bargaining rights are? What's collective bargaining rights?
The ability to talk about something with someone. What do you mean? What?
Are you fucking kidding me? You don't know what collective bargaining rights are?
Yeah, it's the ability to do.
No, I want you to tell me, because this is a staple of our democracy.
I don't believe in democracy.
This is everything. What's collective bargaining? You know what a symbol on a fucking gas station means, but you don't know what collective bargaining rights are.
I'm not even concerned with it.
Are you fucking with me right now?
These are just fancy terms.
You're not concerned with it? You don't have any fucking idea why everything costs expensive.
You're just trying to harp on the point.
What they did, let me explain to you. Let me explain to you collective bargaining rights are union rights. They're basically your privilege and right to form a union and to have protection from the government. Because back in the day, there used to be union busters, and it was okay because it was legal, because we didn't have collective bargaining rights. Now we're protected by the government. We can call the police. We can sue. If you infringe on our collective bargaining rights, we actually can take action. So they don't do it anymore. It allows unions to grow. And what that does, let me finish what I'm saying. No. Because what I'm talking about is a lot more important than the pyramids 1,000 years ago, okay? We got these collective bargaining rights 100 years ago. And these are what built the biggest middle class the world has ever seen. And the reason is because the American consumer and the American worker became more valuable. Became more valuable. And with that, let me finish what I'm.
Why is the middle class weaker than ever? Clearly, it's not working.
Because we've deregulated and we've eroded the unions. We've gotten rid of our collective bargaining rights.
Did that, didn't they?
Oh my God! And who gave us collective bargaining rights?
Right.
The government.
That's the problem.
People. That's how it works. Like, you can say the government. Look, I can take a hammer and I can bash somebody's face in with it, or I can build a wall. And you don't say, well, the existence of a hammer is the reason why corruption exists and bashing exists. That's not what a hammer does. A hammer is used to build.
Gun rights? You're actually using the argument for guns.
Guns are made to kill, right?
No.
Right? Guns are made to kill.
They're made to shoot things.
Guns are made.
Things. It doesn't necessarily mean to kill. Every time someone shoots somebody, they die. Every time they shoot someone, they die. What's that?
Right? Bombs are blow things up. We're not allowed to use them, right? Because they're made to kill people.
Blow things that like rock all the time. Doesn't mean they have to.
A gun isn't made to kill things.
It's made to shoot things.
Then you don't need a semi-automatic one.
Maybe you need.
You need a bolt action always.
Maybe you need to shoot a lot of things. I don't know. But you
moving targets, maybe living targets. What targets are moving that aren't living?
Argument with the hammer thing, but then you claim to be against the Second Amendment. Yeah,
no, I didn't, because then you didn't get it. A hammer isn't made to kill.
No,
a gun is.
No,
I asked, really? Really? What do you need a semi-automatic gun on something that's not alive?
Shot, somebody dies?
No. What do you need a semi-automatic gun on that's on something that's living? Tell me.
Maybe you want to practice your aim.
So it's for fun.
I didn't say that either. No, I said it's to shoot things.
Practice your aim on what? Why do you need a semi-automatic gun if you need to practice your aim? A bolt action will do just fine, right?
Michael Myers kills a woman with a hammer. It's not it's not the hammer, it's the person's intent. It's the person's intent.
Yes, and the hammer is not made to kill.
A gun isn't necessarily.
A hammer is not made to kill. A gun is made to kill. That's it.
An old woman with a hammer, so what do you say to that?
Yes, but the hammer isn't made to kill.
Shoot things.
The gun is made to kill.
Shoot things, not specifically to kill.
Oh, give me a fucking break. If you have a semi-automatic gun, what do you need it? If you need to practice your aim, what good would not having a bolt action? If you have a bolt action.
Are super soakers made to kill? They're guns.
fucking stupid.
No,
Are you
that's
kidding
serious.
me
It's
right
the same
now?
idea.
Is a super soaker made to kill?
But you
No.
could drown. But you could drown
That's why
someone
there's
with all the water. But you could drown someone with all the water.
Look at this guy. A gun is made to defend. Against what? No, wait. Against what? A gun is made to defend against what? Is it made to shoot people? Yeah, shoot people. Who are you going to defend against? Who are you going to defend against? A fucking tree? No. You're going to defend against a living thing, right? So it's made to kill.
It's made to shoot things.
Right?
It depends on you what you want. You don't have to.
Okay, it's made to shoot a living thing, right?
Not necessarily living, no.
Look at it. Oh, he said it right there. To defend myself from people trying to kill me. From people. So a gun is made to kill.
No.
It's made, whether you say, to defend myself, whatever the fuck you want to say. It's made to kill.
That's not necessarily true.
Okay, show me what a gun, what else is a gun made for?
Shooting things.
A semi-automatic gun. What's that made for?
I'll let take the comments.
Yeah, because there's a cult in the comments.
There's a cult?
Let me see.
What?
Look. Yeah, no. I want to see the brilliance in the comments right now for a second. I've seen them flashed up, and it's like, no, they're not made to kill. They're made to defend me against people. Yeah, they're made to shoot people. You fucking retard. I don't know how else to make.
It doesn't specifically have to be like that.
Shooting at the government. The guns are made for shooting at the government. Fucking brilliant. That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Well, the Second Amendment actually was put there in case the government gets too
powerful. Okay, so a gun is made to shoot people. Well, a gun is made to shoot people that probably you can shoot someone like
what's the point you're trying to get to?
A gun is made to injure and hurt and kill people.
About guns. Like, what's the point you're trying to make anyway?
Hey, look at Billy Ty. Normally disagree with Chris on everything. However, a gun was invented to kill. That's a fact.
Oh, but you were just
you can pretend that you want to shoot a fucking tree.
But you were just complaining about all the people in the comments, and now it's okay to accept what they say? You just contradict yourself.
I just talk about somebody just disagreed with me. Somebody says I never.
Right, that's what I mean.
But I'm right. Tell me I'm wrong.
They're not specific.
Tell me I'm wrong.
They're specifically meant to shoot things, not specifically to kill
things. Then you don't need any semi-automatic, and you don't need as much ammunition. Then you need tight gun control. Well, am I right? You don't need semi-automatic if you're just trying to shoot a fucking tree, right?
People feel that they do need these semi-automatic weapons is because the government's getting too powerful, and people are afraid they're going to be tyrannical and take us over. You know, like in mounts. You know.
So to fight the government. What a fucking surprise! To fight the government. Yeah, that'll be great. How did it work for Vietnam? You think that they won Vietnam? They lost over 1 million people, generations destroyed. We lost what? How many people did we lose? We lost 50,000 soldiers.
What's that got to do with anything?
Even 500,000 soldiers. They lost over 1 million people, generations destroyed, economic disaster, everything. You think that us going against a modern American military, because we have an AR-15, bro, we couldn't beat SWAT and the police.
Christian, hold on.
We're going to defeat the entire U.S. military with no supply, with all their supply lines in America.
You know the Prime Minister of China actually said that they would never invade our country because there'd be a blade of grass behind a rifle behind every blade of grass in this country. There's over 350 million people in this country.
Oh, well, that proves it. Oh, man. Oh, that proves it. In World War II, they said because so many people have guns. They made an analogy and said that because so many Americans have guns. You know what I go off of?
China. Who has more people than China? Who has a bigger army than China? A bigger army than China.
Less gun deaths. What does that have to do with anything? What's your point on that?
To be specific, my point is saying that.
No, what's your point on the population size of China?
My point is, okay, ready?
Go ahead.
My point is that you said we're not able to defend ourselves from the government. So I used the example of the Chinese, who has a way bigger army, and they said they would never invade this country because there would be a rifle behind every blade of grass. This government is way smaller than the Chinese army.
When did they say that? What year did they say that in? What year did they say that?
That doesn't matter. It's a philosophical idea.
I care. Did they say that last year?
It's a philosophical idea. Philosophical ideas are intrinsic. They're just for forever.
They're intrinsic. Not if there's no guns. It doesn't last forever if it's 1,000 years ago. Such a thing as a gun. What are you talking about?
It's the idea of defending yourself. That's the point. It's not specifically about the guns. It's about being able to defend yourself.
So a gun is to injure or hurt or kill a living thing.
No,
am I right?
Not specifically. A gun is made to project
something. Holy shit! Oh my God! So tell me.
Most people's intentions are to do that. For example, okay, you're a dick, right?
Yeah, I'm not buying a gun to murder somebody, but the intention of that weapon, the whole reason why. You say that NASA, you say that NASA can't, wait, time out. You say that NASA can't be trusted because it was started by Nazis, because they recruited Nazis, right? We can't trust them 70 years later. But what you're telling me is that the intent of a weapon like a gun to be built, wait, let me finish. The intent of a gun, which is to kill, doesn't matter because I can go buy that weapon right now and shoot my tree. Because I can use it to shoot my mattress. So it doesn't matter that it was originally created to kill people. It doesn't matter because now I can shoot the wall.
What I'm saying is your dick is created to reproduce, right? But you can use your dick for all sorts of things. The point is that it has other value. A gun was created to project something. You could kill someone with it, but
but here's the thing about
you don't have to.
Look, I want to go back to that weird point. My dick, if I have HIV and I use my dick, if I use my dick and I have HIV and I know it and I fuck somebody, I could be charged with a crime. That's a regulation on a deadly weapon. I'm saying that we're talking about regulation. We're talking about regulation. I'm saying that the reason for a gun.
Regulation come up?
In the beginning, we were talking about gun control. We talked about gun control like a half hour ago. You might have forgot about that, but that's the whole reason why we're talking about guns right now. That's why I'm saying the reason why we should have things like regulations on guns is because it's made to kill. Because I brought up the hammer. Remember? The hammer, you can use the hammer for anything. The hammer's different. You don't have to regulate hammers because you don't have to regulate hammers because the hammer's not made to kill.
So should we regulate hammers now too?
Okay, but nobody created a hammer to kill people. A hammer's purpose, you buy in a hardware store, is to build shit.
Know that.
The only purpose of a gun is to shoot living things. There wouldn't be semi-automatic guns.
Hold on, let's address Sticky C's question. Where do you think rights come from? Do you think man gives rights to us?
What the fuck?
Well, that was the
what are you
quietest
talking about?
so
Does man give? Who else is going to give rights to us? The animals? What are you talking about? Who gives rights to us?
Well, that's what I mean. So you think your rights come from other people?
It comes from our society. It comes from how we evolve and how we survive and things that help our species survive. That's how rights come.
Are you a fan of Bernie Sanders? You like Bernie? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Where did Bernie derive his rights from?
Why are you making it like it's an individual person?
Well, I'm just using him as an example.
Our society, you mean? Where did our society get our rights? I got my rights from Walmart. Where'd you get your rights? Like, what are you talking about?
Individual people.
The society?
Individual people.
It comes from our history. It comes from our governance, our legislation, our society. Like, what do you mean? Where do rights come from? This is what I mean. You don't know what government is.
Bernie Sanders or Obama, whomever you want, get the right to give you the ability to defend yourself.
From generation after generation of mistakes and learned failures, deaths of legislation, of elections, of history, of governance. Do you not know what government is? Do you think that a government is just a bad guy in the background?
What do you think? Yes,
that's what you think it is. You think it's the guy behind the curtain.
I think government is the biggest.
Yeah, but it's not the DMV though, right?
Hoax ever played on humanity. You know what I really think?
Yeah, the person who works at the DMV right now is really fucking fooling you. They're really taking you for one.
What? What are you?
That's the government. The Department of Transportation, the bus driver. He works for the government.
What's your point?
Fooling you is the biggest hoax in the world.
Everybody, the same thing with NASA. I didn't say that everybody involved.
That's what all your people believe on the comments. You all think government is the guy in the black in the back because you don't read books. You watch TV. That's the problem.
Which books?
Get the fuck out of here! No. You don't watch television. You know what Michael Myers is? How do you know what Michael Myers is?
Because I bought the DVD because that's one thing I like.
So you watched it, right? You watched it. Okay.
I didn't say.
Come on, that's so stupid to say. You don't watch TV.
I haven't watched. I haven't actually watched any TV since I was in middle school. I play a lot of videos.
But you don't watch TV though, right?
I'll watch a movie here and there, but I don't watch mainstream TV.
Yeah, you like fiction and shit. You like to play games.
Sure.
I get it. Yeah. I do too. I like Battlefield. Battlefield is my shit. I got people texting me right now asking me to play Battlefield.
Right. Well, you're actually kind of losing a battle now, which is kind of fun actually. So.
You wish I was. I know you wish you. I know you think that because you get these stupid likes. Wait. Check your cell phone. Oh, someone said your religion is no different. It only has power if the people believe in it. Like stupid shit like that. That's the stupid shit that your fans talk about.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
This fucking guy. He's funny. I'll give it to him. Like, he is entertaining, but he's totally full of shit. He's funny, though.
I know, I'm
Yeah,
totally
no,
full of shit,
I
right?
like you. You're totally full of shit. But you're like good. You're like good.
I
You're like good.
know. It's the sun on my gas
Yeah,
station. The sun on my gas station was a little off today, so I can't really tell what's going on.
You know, but that's okay. That's why I'll debate with you because it's good.
No, because you know I'm right. Deep down, you know I'm right. Deep
what?
down, you know I'm right. The people in the
Right
comment
about what?
section, deep down, they kind of know I'm right. They kind of know they don't read all the time. They
Well,
kind of know
what's the
they're
la-
not
what was the last
learning
book you
shit.
read?
They kind of know
What was
they'd
the last
rather watch a
book you read?
YouTube conspiracy movie than actually sit in the library. Like,
Well,
like
wait a minute,
they
wait a
know
minute.
it. My religion is because the people.
Wait,
It's so stupid. It's so stupid. I just want to see some more.
Okay, so you're going for the comments now?
I just want to see some more comments. I want to. Oh, I can actually scroll through these.
Tonight. This is fun. Okay.
What about the guys at the DMV? They're the ones who are fooled. Oh man, yeah. The guy at the DMV, we're the ones that are fooled. Yeah, he works for the government though. The people who work at the EPA work for the government. The people who clean the air in New York City through the 90s worked for the government. The fucking scientists sat back and learned why the air was so smoggy back then.
Hold on.
They fixed it. That's the government.
Do you think that I think that everybody that works for government is evil? You think I believe that? You think I believe that?
No, I just don't think that you understand what government is. You don't count all the million other functions that government has. You just think about the corrupt people who are bought and paid for.
Government.
Yeah, they are, and they're horrible, and we have to get them out. But you don't even vote, so who gives a fuck what you say? I don't understand what you think you do.
Okay.
You don't even vote. You have no decision in this. None. I have way more decision than you do.
You think voting counts?
It means something. There would be no trials right now on Donald Trump in the House. There would be no Michael Cohen hearing right now if the fucking midterms didn't happen the way that they did. We would be allowing that bullshit to fucking slide on through. You don't even think it's a big deal, though, right? You don't even know what's happening, right? You don't know anything about Michael Cohen, do you? You're too busy worried about the fucking triangle on my dollar. That's the problem.
That, actually, I am. I'm also worried about on the other side, the little owl that's hidden in the upright corner that you nearly need a magnifying lens to see. You can look at it if you want, but it's there. But anyway, define government. What's government? I'd like to hear what define government. Define government. What is it? Sterling, of course I remember calling.
Government is a tool of management for society.
Of course I remember calling. So define government. Why can't you answer that question?
Okay, wait. I want to say something real quick. What he just said about George Carlin. I know a lot of you people, you like to identify with George Carlin and shit like that. I get that. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing. I can sit here and I can talk about the corruption of government all day long. The problem is that you people, you take George Carlin, what he said, as like, first of all, you take it out of context. He said it at another time. Back in the 80s, people didn't give a shit about politics. I understand that too. I remember the Aaron Contra affair, and people didn't give a shit.
George Carlin's last stand-up took place in 2008, and all he did was harp on the church government.
No, I know, but I also watched him when he was young and he was like kicking ass. I get it.
How old are you?
I know, but what I'm saying is that there are people who.
Sterling just butchered you, bro. Sterling butchered you right there. Sterling butchered you with the Carlin right there. You got butchered by Sterling. Butchered you.
Oh, you don't know what it's like when somebody stops to think for a second. You think like, oh, we got him.
Yeah.
That's what you think? What I'm talking about is that you don't understand how people like George Carlin thought. You can sit here and we can talk about the dysfunction of government. We can talk about the dysfunction of government, but the most important thing is the intent of the corruption of government. That's the thing. George Carlin wasn't saying that there was fucking people putting pyramids on the dollar and there was people hypnotists, sorcerers and shit like that. What he was talking about was the corruption that was invading the U.S. government during the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s.
You know George Carlin on 2 interviews I can send to you said he was an anarchist and he didn't believe in government? He said it openly live on TV. And
no, I mean it's not like that's crazy. That's not like a crazy idea.
Well,
I can say that like Karl Marx had a lot of good ideas, but he was working in a way different time than we are today. Right now, what I'm talking about is real time. What we're dealing with today.
2008 was only like 10, 11 years ago.
What I'm talking about is real time and what we're dealing with today. You can't go back to a comedian entertainer and say this is what it all is. You have to talk about the way it is today.
Are you saying we shouldn't learn from history? That's basically what you're saying. Oh, well, that was.
You don't know what
so
collective bargaining rights are. You don't know how we got them. And you're talking about history because you know what George Carlin said in 2011? Are you fucking kidding me? What a comedian said? You don't know anything about how we got here. Don't talk about history when you want to talk about what a comedian said.
How do you know that I don't know how we got here?
Because you need to learn about the actual history of this country and how we got here.
Why are you downplaying him just because he's a comedian? You know the Jester archetype is known for being one of the most intelligent.
He's a comedian. You're talking to me about history. You don't know anything about this country. You don't know how. You didn't know what collective bargaining rights were.
Yes, I did.
You didn't know what collective bargaining rights, a staple of our country. No, you did not. And I will rewind it and play it, and I'll play it with this fucking thing too. You had no idea. You we get together and we talk about things to do.
What do you think a union?
You didn't know what collective bargaining rights were. That's what you asked me to tell everyone.
Needs to come together. That's what I mean. You just defined it with different language than I did. You're just using.
I see what you're doing. It's like
that's a perfectly good point.
No, I know. It's just coming together. Collective bargaining is just coming together. It has nothing to do with union busters or why we have that privilege or why we have that right.
What does the word union mean, huh?
You still couldn't say what it was.
Yeah, no, he wants to.
This is on video.
Still, I know. Yeah, he overtalks. No, right. So let me be clear. Hold on. So because George Carlin's a comedian, we can't take anything seriously that he says. Because he's a comedian. George Carlin, because he's a comedian, we can't take it.
Oh, so it's one or the other here. So what I'm saying is that we can't base government legislation on what George Carlin says. So that means what I'm saying is that I can't take anything serious what George Carlin says. Welcome to Libertarian fucking Central, to Anarchy Central, to this bullshit Anarchapulco bullshit Larkin Central. That's what this is. It's one or the other, right? If I say that we shouldn't base legislation and rules on what George Carlin says, that also means I'm saying that nothing he said matters.
Well, why can't we?
Absolute
why can't we though? Which is it? Either we can or we can't.
Hey, hang on, we got
either we can or we can't.
Operation. What does that mean, buddy? What does Operation mean? What does it mean?
You don't know what Operation Fast and Furious, the Mexican thing with the guns and shit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was our corrupt government.
What is it? He keeps talking about it as if he's making a point.
But like what we're trying to explain to you is that because these positions of power exist, that's why the corruption exists. If nobody had power over other people, there wouldn't be a way for people to get all this power. That's what the anarchist community is saying.
All right, tell me this. Let's break it down real simple. Break it down real simple. If I have $1 million in my bank account and you have 37, right? I have way more power over you, right?
Not necessarily.
Are you fucking kidding me? Can you be real for a second? I have $1 million in my bank account. I have $1 million.
Okay, I'm
probably
physically stronger.
I can't even. Not really.
Let me talk. I'm 250 pounds. I'm probably stronger than you physically because of my size and weight. So are you suggesting that I don't have power?
Yeah, and I can hire 50 guys to come kick your ass because I have $1 million in my bank account and you have 37. Right off the bat, I have more power than you, right?
In that situation,
I can take you to court and I can bury you in bankruptcy. Right? I can take you to court and bury you in bankruptcy. You have no power over me. I have all power over you.
But that's just one situation.
Not really.
But that's just one situation.
I can name 50 situations.
Okay, and those are
in 50 situations.
You know there's infinite situations? There's infinite situations. 50 is nothing to infinity.
Okay, I want to explain more. I want to explain more. I want you to tell me what power you have over me with 37 and what I don't with $1 million. And I'll give you another one, okay? I go right now and I get 15 tickets. I get 15 fucking tickets. You know what I do? I pay a lawyer to go down. Can I finish?
You've been talking, but okay.
I pay a lawyer to go down. I pay a lawyer to go down to the DMV, or I'm sorry, the traffic court, and I get him to knock down fucking like 12 of them, and I only got 3 left, and then I get to pay it off like nothing. You have $37 in your bank account. You have 15 tickets. You can't afford a lawyer. You're done. You're not driving anymore. How's that going to work? How's that going to look? Are you going to even be able to fucking get to the supermarket anymore? So I have more power over you in so many ways than anything. Tell me what power you have with your $37 in your bank account over me when I got $1 million. What power do you have over me?
Stop talking for a second. I'll give you a perfect example. You probably have more money than Larkin Rose does, right? You probably have more money. He doesn't have a lot of money. The thing is, because of this guy's knowledge and intellect, he has a massive following of like tens of thousands of people. So there you go. You might have more money, but if you just check on Facebook, he's got like 25,000 followers. He's got like 30,000 people behind him. How many?
Oh my God, he got so many followers. Wait, hold up. He's got so many followers. But he's got $50,000 in his bank account. I can bury him.
I completely answered your question. How come you always like evade what I'm saying? Like I gave you a perfectly flawless example. A perfectly flawless example. I can't hear you.
Listen to me, genius. I'm not. So you're comparing me right now to the power and influence that I have on Facebook, as if I was. I'm saying if I was a millionaire. Why is this so hard to understand? If I'm a millionaire and Larkin Rose had $37 in his bank account, it doesn't matter how many.
But that's absolutely not true. Well, okay, so then let me ask you: did you ever see Braveheart? You ever seen Braveheart? William Wallace, with virtually nothing, went up against the king.
Wait, you don't watch television though. You don't watch television.
Not a lot, no.
You said you don't watch television.
Doesn't mean.
Do you know anything about Braveheart?
Anything.
Hang on a second. Tell me about Braveheart. Tell me about Braveheart. You don't
like that point that I just made. You're gonna.
No. You brought up Braveheart. Tell me about it.
I saw Braveheart. William Wallace. Yeah, great movie. You asked. Without a lot of money, with power.
No. Tell me your example.
Stop. William Wallace had a lot of power and influence and charisma, but he didn't have a lot of money. But with that little, look what he did. He took on a whole army and king. So that completely answers your question. There you go.
He took a whole army and thing. Yeah, and he died.
You're just attacking my. You're just attacking.
You know the funny thing?
Because I used a perfectly good example. Yeah.
Here's the funny thing, though. Is that again? Wait. Let me say something real quick. Talking about a movie again.
So it's William Wallace was a real guy. He was a real guy. That movie was based on real events. The movie was based on real events.
Before I said you and
it was based on real events
that are influenced by television and movies. You don't know what really is going on. And the reason I'm saying that is because, again, this is the second movie that you brought up. And you want to hear something funny? The movie Braveheart was all lies. None of it was true. The truth is Robert the Bruce was called.
It wasn't that nothing was true. It was changed for the movie, but it wasn't.
Do you remember Robert the Bruce in the movie?
Yeah, that doesn't mean the whole movie
was a lie. The entire movie of Braveheart was actually about Robert the Bruce's life. William Wallace was somebody who existed. But it was everything that happened, even when they made the sticks longer. So I'm saying that you're basing your ideas on movies. You're basing your ideas on movies 15 minutes after you said you don't even watch television. I'm telling you, people think the bullshit that you think because you just watch movies and you think you understand what government is. You think you know what history is.
I think you're just talking a lot. Like I answered your question perfectly. Like your question was this: it was if someone has a lot of money, how could someone with $37 do anything? And I gave you a perfectly good example. I gave you Larkin Rose with his tens of thousands of followers on Facebook with not a lot of money. I gave you an example of William Wallace and how he fought the king and everything like that with no money. So I answered your question, and now you're trying to turn it. You said it a little weird, or that word sounded funny or something like that.
Because here's the thing. All right, listen, I'm gonna calm down. Listen to me for a second. Listen. Here's the thing. The reality of it, and this is why it's so important. Because you're like, oh, it's just somebody who just came up and no. The truth about Braveheart was that it was Robert the Bruce. And do you know who Robert the Bruce was? He was the next in line to be king of Scotland. What that means is that he was a wealthy and listen to me. He was a wealthy and powerful man. He wasn't just a guy who got upset because his wife got killed. That's the movie version of it for you. The thing is that a lot of history was performed and written by very wealthy people.
So we can't. Let me ask you.
Money.
So movies can't be used for any basis of foundation of reality. There's no truth in any movies ever.
Yes, it can also be. It's a good versus evil, childish thinking. It applies to that. In America, a lot of children.
You know, children are actually known for being a lot more brilliant than adults are. It's just that the indoctrination beats that out of them. I consider myself one of those children that's still pretty smart, and that's why I have creative talents and stuff like that, because I never gave up on that. You know what I mean?
I know what you consider yourself, but there's a problem with the fact that you think when we talk about real things, you bring up plot lines from movies.
Real. What's real?
That's why I called you Indiana Jones. You're more inclined to believe in movies than somebody with no power or money. What?
I say Indiana Jones was a college professor. He was quite brilliant, and he didn't have a lot of money. And look what he accomplished in the movie. So we can't use movies for any examples of real life things. Why is that?
No, you can use it as long as it's actually making a good analogy towards governance and legislation, how society works. If you're actually using it to make a good point, but you brought up Braveheart. You brought up Braveheart to prove.
Yes.
You brought up Braveheart to prove that The amount of money that I have doesn't
No,
matter.
that's not what I brought it up for. I
And you
brought
have
up to
$30.
answer your question, suggesting that because someone has less money, they have no power. And I explained how someone with no money, with a lot of charisma, power, influence, was able to take on someone with all of the money. So it just completely disproved your argument.
See, no, that doesn't disprove my argument.
Yes,
my argument is that in today's society, society, I could bury you with money, and that's a fact. And if you don't know that, then you haven't gone up against anything. You don't know what the system is. Money destroys people like us.
What's the point?
It does.
What's the point that you're trying to make, though? I agree with you. Money helps to do stuff. What's your point?
My real point, the society that you want to have, the society that you want to build, is as this money.
Wait, say that again. You cut out. What is the society I want to do? I'm listening.
It'll have money, right? We'll still have money. You don't want to abolish money, right? You don't want to abolish the profit motive, right? Who said that we
wouldn't have money? Who said that? I said that? When did I say that? Can you point to when I said that?
Okay, then tell me. Okay, so we're not going to have money.
Why are you assuming?
So we're not going to have money in society?
Why are you assuming this? I never said that. What makes you think that I...
Then tell me how your society would work, because every time we talk about your society, you go back to mine. So tell me how your society will work without money and without government.
But I never said it wouldn't have money. And when I said
so we're not going to talk about that.
We're not going to talk about that. I understand that you.
Go ahead. Tell me how your society will work. Answer that.
Over talking helps it make you feel like you're winning the debate. Okay.
No, answer my question.
I'll answer.
How will a society work without money, government, any of that?
Well, first off, what makes you think that I want a society without money? Why do you think that? When did I ever allude to anything?
Are you going to ask me a question? Are you going to ask me a question right now? I'm asking you how your society will work without government or money. Go and go.
But when did I suggest that?
Don't ask me a question. Don't ask me a question.
Do you realize how ridiculous you're being?
Stop asking me questions. Answer me how your society will work.
But you're asking me a question based on something I never said. How am I supposed to answer that if I never said it?
Okay, how will your society work, Justin? How will your society work?
In what situation?
Every situation.
Okay, well,
any situation.
So, because I have a high understanding of the problems of Earth, one of the major problems is the fact is because we're enslaved and everybody's afraid to do anything outside of what they can get punished for, people never truly evolve and actually reach their higher self. And the government's goal is there to keep everyone down, all right? You follow? Which is why people turn to alcoholism and drug addicts and sex addicts and stuff. That's where addiction comes from. It comes from like the fact that people are not fulfilled. The reason people are not fulfilled is they're enslaved to society and they have to keep paying for all the stuff as the things constantly increase and more pressure gets on. This is why people have problems.
As what things constantly increase?
Oh, well, price. For example, I bought 2 slices of pizza.
Prices,
right.
Money.
Yes, you're very concerned with money, and I agree with you. I'm concerned with money. Who's in control of the value of money? The government. We are? Okay, so make your money worth more.
Well, what it comes down to is that the government is the determining factor. The government is the determining factor on the people's belief in the value of money. That's really what it is. That's why it's like speculation, things go up and down. That's how it works. It's based on. That's why gold goes up when the dollar goes down, is because we're losing faith in the dollar, so we start putting faith in other things that are a little more solid, like gold. It's all fucking illusory, but it's bullshit.
Okay, so if you know it's bullshit, why are you defending it?
Yeah, why am I defending? Why am I defending? I'm not defending money. I don't believe in money. I believe that we can have government without money.
Why are you so attached to the idea of government? What are you so scared of?
No, I'm saying that I think the problem is
people
money.
That believe in government.
You think the problem is government.
That want government it's a fear thing. You're afraid. What are you afraid of? You seem like.
Yeah, no, I'm totally frightened. I'm totally frightened.
I'm
totally frightened that my next door neighbor will have 30 people. I'm totally frightened of my next door neighbor having 30 people with guns and stealing my shit. Yeah, that would suck.
Well,
that would really suck, bro. Because I'm just by myself with a gun. Why do you have
problems with your neighbors anyway that they wouldn't want to take advantage of you like that? Are you being mean to your neighbors?
No, I'm saying that I'm scared of that kind of a society.
Well, I'm not.
I would definitely not want that kind of stupid society because it's not fair.
Well, you think what's going on now
is not something where you could actually build yourself up. You know in the movies with like, you know in the movies when the bad guy, in the movies when the bad guy who rules everybody is basically, it's just somebody's son. You know what I mean? Like, it's just somebody's son, and then he just was born into wealth and power.
Okay.
Like, that's a big problem, right?
Not necessarily.
Right? But if you have... the only people that would rule in your society
No, there
would be the
there
people
would be
with
no
all the
rules.
money. They would have all the money and they would rule.
To be very clear, anarchy means no. It doesn't mean no rules. It means no rulers, no kings. Hold on.
So you don't believe in money?
It doesn't mean no rules. We have a very strict code of rules we live by. It means no rulers, no kings. The governments of today.
Oh yeah, and they'll just disappear. They'll just disappear. But tell me, will you have money in your society?
Hold on. You just said they will just disappear, like downplaying it. So, where do you think the ones in the past went? Where do you think King George? Where do you think all the rulers? Where do you think the pharaohs of Egypt? You think it just disappeared?
They're the people with all the money in the world right now. They're the people with all the money in the world right now. They're the people who aren't getting in trouble right now.
To make you think that you have a choice. To make you think. Listen, I know this.
So we shouldn't have law. There should be no law.
I know this guy that sells pot, right? He told me when he was a kid and he started selling pot, he noticed that when he had only had one type of pot, the people wouldn't always want it because they're like, whatever. But he said he noticed when he had at least two types, if not more types of pot, people would always buy from him because it gave him the choice. It gave him a choice. People love having choice. Government gives you the illusion of choice. There is no choice. You don't have a choice. It's there to trick you, to make you feel like you have some power. You don't. You have no power.
Because the thing is that you don't know what government.
Power, Christian. None.
Like businesses and how they would
just
operate.
Just so you know, my phone battery's really low, so we got to cut it out in like a minute.
So plug it in. My shit's plugged in.
I can't.
Listen, what we're talking about.
Make your point. We can do it another day.
You can plug it into your computer.
My computer's not even in here. What's called? My computer's actually low, man.
All right. So what I'm saying is that your problem, and I said this from the beginning, is that you have no idea what a government is, and when you think a government is like. Listen to what I'm saying for a second.
What government is.
What you see it as is that you have your businesses. You have your businesses operating in competition with each other. You know, I'm going to get the best product, and then no, I'm going to get. You're taking all like the complex shit, like the psychological marketing you talked about, and fucking cornering markets and hostile takeovers and speculation. You're taking all that shit out, and you're going back to like this Little House on the Prairie idea of a free market where it's like this guy is trying to make the best product. Listen to what I'm saying. This guy is trying to make the best product, and this guy's going to make a better product, and we're just going to make better products on top of each other so that we can make money. Now, the thing is that you think that those things are like next to government, and government is one of those things too, but it's not, because there's the post office, and the post office delivers mails to delivers.
So you don't think without government we roll up?
There are certain services that we have, like for example, we have the internet, we have television, we have cell phone service because of government R&D. They weren't trying to make because I'm not done. They weren't trying to make profit. They were trying to do other things besides profit.
Okay, without government, are you afraid that nobody would build the roads? That's basically what you're saying, right? Like, who would do all this, right? So we'll get to the roads thing. You're afraid like no one would build roads without government. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Tell me something. Tell me something, Justin. Tell me something. So tomorrow, 6 miles of your road is destroyed from an airplane.
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
Gone. Are you going out tomorrow? Are you going to take 6 months off of your job and build a road?
Am I personally? I don't know. If that was necessary, then yes, I would. Actually, if you notice.
If that was necessary, you would take 6 months off of your job.
Why would it
you will take 6 months with no pay.
Why would it take 6 months? Like road.
Oh yeah, I saw your thing before. 10,000 people got together and built a road in one day. So you think 10,000 people on Long Island or Queens or wherever is going to build a fucking road in one day?
That was like in the early 1900s. There's way more people now. Why wouldn't they? Why not?
There's way more people now. So what would make them do if they don't get paid? If they don't get paid, why would they do it then? You think they would do that? Think anybody would get paid to build a road? I mean, anybody would build a road without getting paid.
Why did they do it then? They did it. Why did they do it then?
Why did they do it then? Because we live in a completely different economy.
How is it different?
First of all,
how is it?
You know that, right? We didn't even. Do you ever see the movie? You watch a lot of television. You ever see the show Mad Men? That's kind of when like our modern day marketing was created. That was in like the 60s. Okay, that changed our entire economy.
I don't watch a lot of television.
What?
I haven't watched television since I was in middle school.
Shut up. You know you watch television. I know. You think that because you watch Netflix, that means that you're not watching television, right?
You want to know?
All right, so you watch something. I know you do.
I watch lectures.
You bring up movies and video games.
You want to know what I was watching last night? Hold on.
What are you doing with all your free time?
You know who Aleister Crowley is and Jack Parsons? You know who Jack Parsons was? Well, you
No,
should. Jack
no,
Parsons was actually
no.
the guy that basically was who put together the rocket engineering for NASA. That's why there's on the moon. There's a Jack Parsons crater, JPL. Aleister Crowley was. That's what I was watching last night, and how they worked together, and they were into all sorts of witchcraft and stuff like that. But it wasn't TV. I watched lectures and stuff on YouTube. Would you like to know more about?
So you watch YouTube, so you don't watch TV. So you watch bullshit videos on YouTube, but that's not the same thing as television.
No, it's not.
Man, you've really evolved.
It's absolutely not.
I thought you were gonna say you sat in a library reading books.
I do. You watch
YouTube videos.
Actually, right now,
I'm
I'm looking at Adam Kokesh's book Freedom, Esoteric Hollywood by Jay Dyer, Atlantis Visitation by Michael Tessarion, and Michael Tellinger, Slave Species of the Gods. That's actually, and My Father's Dragon.
That sucks, bro. Why don't you read some shit on modern day economics?
Those books are actually what's propping up my phone right now, motherfucker. So there.
Yeah, you should read them and get off your fucking book. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Did I say that? Don't read that dumb shit. What are you reading? More that symbology shit? Read Guns, Germs, and Steel. Read Guns, Germs, and Steel. Read The People's History of the United States by Howard Zinn.
Well, why should I believe him?
You should read fucking Ghost Wars. The whole entire from the Iran from the overthrow of the Iran to 9/11. There's so many Pulitzer Prize winning books out there that you can read, and you're reading fucking magic.
Can we talk about 9/11 actually? How come Building 7, nothing hit it? How come nothing hit Building 7, but the building fell into its footprint? How come that happened?
I don't know. I didn't build Building 7. But here's the thing that I can say about that.
And how come they won't talk about that? If the government's on your side, why won't they talk about it?
This is the weird thing. This is the weird thing. Do you want to talk about intent, or do you want to talk about, like, what temperature was the fuel? Like, I don't give a fuck what the temperature of the fuel was. What I want to know is that why somebody would do that in the first place.
I'll give you lots of reasons.
What I want to know is why would someone do that?
I'll give you lots of reasons, actually.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, for money. 2, they were looking for a reason to pass the Patriot Act, and they were also looking for a reason to invade Iraq. Think about it. George Bush even admitted live publicly that there were no WMDs. So we sent our military over there. We killed 1.6 million Iraq people, and Iraq never had anything to do with it, nor did they have any WMDs.
So why did we do that?
I just told you.
No. I'm saying, why did we want to? Because you said we did it to invade Iraq. Why did we want to invade Iraq?
I just told you, because for lots of reasons. For 1, money. For 2, insurance. For 3, they wanted to invade Iraq. 4, they wanted the Patriot.
For one, money.
Why are you obsessed with money? You're obsessed with money.
Because the problem that I have with you and your people is that you have this idea that it's some sort of a fantasy plotline magical thing. It's not. It's all about money. It's all about money.
It isn't.
It's all about the market. It's all about speculation.
It's about the enslavement of you. It's not about money, because they can print as much money as they want. If they can print as much money as they want, why would they care about money? It's like, you ever go to a pizzeria? Hold on, stop.
Have you ever
gone into a?
Because if we knew about the fucking printing of the money, then the money would lose value.
You ever notice how, if you ever go to a pizzeria and you ask if they eat the pizza, they always say no? It's because they have access to pizza all the time. That's why. Simple as that. When you have an abundance of something, you don't value it the same way.
It's called abundance.
So if you can create,
the problem is that the reason why money has value. The reason why money has value is because we believe it has value.
I agree. I agree with you.
They can't just print unlimited amounts and inflation doesn't happen. They've been doing that, and that's why a dollar today is worth like a fucking eighth of what it was 30 years ago.
You're right.
It doesn't work, and the reason is because we believe it has value.
Why do we believe that?
We give it its value, and the reason why we give it its value is because we are willing to step on each other for money, and you would put money ahead of people too. Because you want money. You believe in money. You want deregulation. You don't want to regulate money. You want money to have a free flow of the market.
All right. Have you ever considered that the reason that they affect the money to inflate it is to control people, to get them to behave badly so they can pass more laws and stuff like that? You know?
What you're talking about is that you're looking at the consequences in hindsight. What you're doing is that, like, you see, like, all these wars in the Middle East, and you're like, and what you do is you be like, oh, well, what they did was they inflated money, and then this made us desperate for it, and then this made us need to get oil in Iraq. So
yes, it's called being
like,
well
what you're looking at is the the consequences of our actions.
Have you ever noticed any? Have you ever watched any of the jokes?
Exactly, and that's my point. My point is that it's not as well thought out as you think
How
it
do
is.
you know?
It's not this 100-year plan.
Really? How do you
It's a
know
back and
that?
forth battle.
How do you know that? Have you ever heard of the
Because I know
Hold on.
history.
Okay, well,
I know that. I know what
Let me
happened.
stop. Hold on.
I know how we went from not having
hold on.
weekends to having
Okay.
weekends.
Do you know what
You don't know that.
Hold on. Do you know what the Tavistock Institute is? Do you know the Tavistock Institute? Do you know the Club of Rome? Do you know the Fabian Society? Do you know what these social engineers they wrote?
What about it? Make your point.
Okay, they wrote
like
over,
no,
they
I
wrote
don't
over
know
100
what
years ago about
Rome
about what they were going to do now. That's what they did. But listen, my phone battery is going to die. So you want to close off by saying anything? You want to insult us or something or whatever before I close out because my phone's about to die.
Why do you keep saying us like there's more than one of you in that room?
Because you kept saying
I know that you got your little weirdos in the fucking comments, but stop with the us, because I'm not debating. I am debating all you motherfuckers, obviously.
Okay. So would you like to have a closing
statement? Look, here's the thing. All right, yeah, no, you know what? I will make a closing argument. This is what I'll say, and I didn't plan this at all, but my closing argument is that it's this, okay? It's not as complicated as you people think it is. The reason why you think it's complicated is that you take the results and you look back and then you tie everything into the results. So you think it's some sort of
how you come to a conclusion?
That's not how business actually works. Business, there are certain once in a while little businessmen who plan a few steps in advance, whatever like that. But it's not this supervillain that you think it is. It's not people 100 years ago that were trying to plan this today. What actually happens, especially in business, especially in what we're talking about, is that it's all about money influences everything, and money only has power from our belief. So our belief influences everything. And that is why we are so important. And it's not that me, the individual, is important. It's our entire society and our belief.
Okay, so let me just say one thing. Let me just want to say
our collective. Hold on. Our collective society, our vote, the people that we use to represent us. That's what matters. You think it's like this individual crusade against fucking triangles and stuff like that. What I'm saying is that wait, let me finish. I'm in my closing argument. It's our deep infatuation. It's our deep infatuation with the money in our pockets. It's the fact that we will step over each other for the money in our pockets. That's the cause of it all. It's not a secret organization. It's our fucking heart, our human heart that is worried about being fed and shelter and food, so we will fucking step on each other for the money that makes it fucking cutthroat. So the problem is the money itself. You think it's some sort of a plan. It's not.
Well, Christian,
it's just going off of we're reactionary.
I gotta go. It was always a pleasure, as always. It was great talking to you. I'm gonna go work on my personal crusade to take out triangles. So you have a great night, man. It was great talking to you, and we'll talk soon, okay?